So now in today's lecture, we'll start with the Thevenin theorem. Thevenin is a scientist name, and on the basis of his name, gave this. In this, we'll follow the certain steps. Okay, step number 1, we have to find out the value of load resistance. Load resistance is like, suppose we are using bulb in our home, right? Or we are using fan at our home, so that is the load, and the resistance present in that would be the load resistance. So in this case, in whichever branch they ask you to calculate the current, that is the load resistance. They said find current in 10 ohm. They said find current in 10 ohm, right? So our 10 ohm is the load resistance, and load resistance is denoted by RL. So our first step is completed, that RL is equal to 10 ohm. Got it? Now the step number 2, whatever the RL is there, we have to open circuit RL. We have to open circuit RL. Okay, like as I told you, this is RL. You need to remove that RL. Open circuit means removing. Okay, rest of the diagram is same. This is a, yeah, so marked always as A and B over there. Next, step number 3, we have to calculate Thevenin voltage. It's a Thevenin theorem, so he gave on his name only. Thevenin voltage is denoted by VTH, and that is must be equal to VAB. Means across those terminals only where our load resistance was connected. Okay. So ultimately we need to calculate VAB. As you can see that you are standing at A position and you need to move towards B. So you will move from A to C, C to D, and D to B, right? As you can see that there is no direct connection now between A to B. So we can write down VAC plus VCD plus VD. You can choose the longer path also, but obviously if shortest path is available, you go for the longer path. No, now. And one more thing, if there is a current source in your way, then you have to avoid that path. Again, in that case, you can take the longer path. Got it? Now VAC is according to Ohm's law, IAC into RAC. VCD is how much ICD to RCD. VDB is how much IDB to RDB. Now as you can see that this is the open circuit, and in the open circuit current is flowing, right? In this case also current is flowing. So if current is 0, then the voltage across those points is also 0, right? ICD is this one, this ICD. RCD is how much? They have given the value 6 ohm, correct? So now if we will able to get the value of ICD, then we'll be able to get the value for VTH right now, because ultimately VAB or VTH is equal to ICD into 6 only. So by using simple mesh analysis, we can get the value of ICD. Now can you tell me if this is a single mesh question or a double mesh question? Yeah, it's a single mesh now, because as you can see that there is no current flowing. So it would be minus 4 ICD minus 6 ICD plus 20 is equal to 0. So minus 10 ICD is equal to minus 20. ICD would be equal to, in this case, 2, right? So ultimately VAB value you will get it as 2 into 6, that is equal to 12 volt. So now you got the value of VAB, that is equal to 12 volt. Understood? Now after calculating VTH, we need to follow for next step, step number 4. We need to calculate RTH. RTH is the Thevenin resistance. Okay, or we can say RTH is equal to RAB. But for that we have to follow certain steps. What are those steps? that there is a voltage source. Voltage source must be short circuit. Okay, voltage source is like this, battery. Short circuit means remove the battery and place a plain wire across it. Similarly, we'll have current source. Current source is like this. Current source must be open circuit, right? So in this case there is only one voltage source and that would be the short circuit, means I'm removing the battery and rest of the resistance will be as it is. Clear? So now this value is 4, 6 and 5. Write down the value 4, 6 and 5. You need to calculate ultimately RAB and that would be equal to RTH. Just imagine that you are standing at A, you need to move towards B. 4 ohm, 6 ohm and 5 ohm, these all are your friends. Okay. If two of your friends are at the same path, that means they are connected in series. And if two of your friends are at the different path, that means they are connected in parallel. Okay. So just start it from here. Okay. With the 4 ohm you need to start. As you can see that 4 and 6, they are at the same path or at the different path? Different path. You will move from A, but you will start with the away from you will start with the your friend which is very far away from you. So 4 ohm is far away and 5 is near, so you'll start with the 4 ohm. And if you are moving from A, 5 ohm house and 6 ohm house, they both come in the same path or at the different path? Different path. That means they are in parallel. So 4 parallel 6, it would be 5 A and B. So now 4 parallel 6 means 4 into 6 divided by 4 plus 6. So it would be 24 by 10 means 2.4. Now tell me 2.4 ohm house and 5 ohm house. They are at the same path or at the different path? Same now, because you can meet both of them. So RTH is ultimately it 5 plus 0.4, that would 7.4. So this is how we can get the value for RTH. Step number 4 is also completed. Now last and final step, what they ask you to calculate, they ask you to calculate current. So we calculated VTH, right? We calculated RTH, connect both of them are in series. And we removed RL resistance across A and B. Now we'll connect back RL to A and B point only. Okay. So in this we need to calculate current. VTH we have calculated, RTH we have calculated, both must be connected in series. So now ultimately I is according to Ohm's law. V by R, I is how much? V is how much over here? VTH, R is how much over here? They both are connected in series, so RTH plus RL. VTH is how much we obtain? 12 volt. RTH we how much obtain? 7.4. So 12 divided by 7.4, and RL was the load resistance which we removed in the first step, and we calculated the first step that RL is equal to 10 ohm, that would be 10 ohm only. So now you can solve it, that would be your final answer. In this case RL is equal to 7, right, and that would be A and that would be AB, ultimately E, C and V, right? A to C. So it's a state. If you are moving, then current should also move in the same direction, positive, negative. Then battery also we consider. So you have to take the second line. So it would be like minus IC 12. Then D2, what is the second? Minus 23. Okay. Now by using mesh analysis, variable 2 equation, let us consider it as I2 only. Okay. So 2 mesh equation is First mark the sign convention. Minus I1 minus I1 minus I2 plus 12 is equal to 0. Now minus I2 minus 5 minus 3 I2 I1 is equal to, right? So we can substitute the value of I2 over here, then we get the KB. Correct? Understood? See now for calculation of RTH voltage short circuit, right? So the diagram would be like 12, 12. As I told you, 6 and 3 are in parallel. Combined it in single resistance. 6 parallel, okay, here, and 12 like this. Now you are again moving from A unit towards B. This one and this one, they are at the same path or at the different path? Same path now, so that means series. 6 divided by 6, right, plus 2 will become a single resistance, and then combined it parallel with 12 ohm, right? So divided by 9 plus 2, 9 to 8 plus 2, right? 4 and 12 are in parallel. That would be the RTH. Now ultimately you need to calculate I. I is H for RTH plus RL. Just need to substitute the. So this is the question again from your paper only. The Thevenin question. You are standing at A, you need to move towards B for calculation of VTH. You can move from upward side or from the downward side. Okay, it's up to you. So I have taken according to this. So VAC is ultimately IAC into RAC, that is 10. VCB is how much? ICB into RCB, that is 25. Now can you tell me how many meshes are there in this case? 2. So if you are moving A to C, so current should also move from A to C. Okay. So ultimately you have to take IAC in terms of I1 and I2. Now can you tell me AC, like this is suppose AC, it's in the middle branch or in the corner branch? If it's in the middle branch, then there will be flow of double current, and if it's in the corner wall, then there will be flow of single current. Okay, it's a double. So from this side, if you'll see, I1 is flowing from this side, I2 is flowing. Now the question is like positive, negative, right? You are moving from A to C. With you, which current is moving? I2 is moving or I1 is moving with you? I2. So if I2 is moving, the current which is moving with you, obviously that is positive, and the current which is moving opposite with you, that would be negative. Multiplied by 10. ICB, it's a single branch or the double branch? Sorry, so it would be I2 in 25. Now you have to see this also, your direction and current direction must be same. You are moving from C to B, I2 is also moving from C to B, like this. AB is. Now for getting I1 and I2, you have to apply KVL mesh, then you will get. Will have this two mesh variable and two, then solve I1 and I2, and then substitute, right? Now calculate the Thevenin RTH. See, you are standing at A unit towards B. This one and this, they are at the different path. You can't move both the house at the same time. That means 10 is parallel with 20, right? Similarly, this one 10 and 25 is also on the same path because path coming over 25 and 5, they are at the different path, right? Similarly, 25 and 5 is in parallel, combined it, that would be series, that would be your RTH. Okay, so I would equal to VTH divided by RTH plus RL. Now you can get the current. Yes or no?